Welcome to Hatman Strikes Back Daily Boxing News. So Moses Itauma has been called out by former IBF World Heavyweight Champion Charles Martin. Let's talk about it. In a recent interview with Sky Sports, Martin said, "I will do anything to get another title shot. I fought Jared Anderson on 1 week's notice and had him hurt multiple times. I would have knocked Jared out with a real training camp, and I will knock Moses out with a proper camp. Right now, he's been stopping everyone quick, but it is real different when another puncher is coming back at you. Let's see if he can take it as good as he gives it. I want another title shot, and I know knocking off a young, strong guy that everyone's talking about would line me up for someone like Daniel Dubois. One thing boxing fans know about me is I will fight anyone. The problem has always been getting people to fight me, so I have been forced to take fights on short notice and injured. Right now, I am fresh and I feel in my prime. I can KO anyone in the world, including a 20-year-old. All right, those are the words of Charles Martin. Now, obviously, there's a lot of hype talk here. He wants a payday, and I certainly don't believe that Charles Martin has ever been that good. However, it's also true that boxing is full of fighters who do have some level of talent, but because they're always brought in as the opponent, then as Charles Martin described there, they're often getting fights on very short notice. They don't have ample preparation, and that can obviously hinder their chances of winning. Perhaps with a full training camp, Charles Martin might have beaten Jared Anderson. Who knows? That's if he's actually telling the truth about only having 1 week's prep. But how dangerous would he be against Moses Itauma? Now, Charles Martin, as you can see here on his BoxRec page, last fought in November against the Journeyman. He won that fight by first round KO. Prior to that was the Anderson fight, which was back in 2023. So very inactive over the past 18 months or whatever. He's now 38 years of age, 6'5", southpaw. He's got a record of 30-4 with 1 draw. 2 of his losses coming by knockout, of course, to Anthony Joshua and also Luis Ortiz. And he was doing pretty well in that Ortiz fight. He had Ortiz on the canvas a couple of times before he got stopped himself. And one thing about Charles Martin is he does have some power there. 27 KOs in his 30 career wins. And of course, we all like to joke about the "I walk the earth like a god" line from the Anthony Joshua face-off till the cows come home. But for a prospect on the way up, as he showed in the Jared Anderson fight, he can pose some problems and he can expose some flaws. For that reason, I actually think it's a good fight for Moses Itauma if Itauma doesn't manage to get a shot at a title before the end of April. It's looking very unlikely that he will, and the only reason I say that is because that will be an opportunity to try and break Mike Tyson's record and become the youngest heavyweight champion in history. That's something worth, in my view, rushing yourself to a title shot for. But if that opportunity doesn't come, then I see no reason for Moses Itauma to rush. In which case, a development fight like a Charles Martin, I think, will be perfect for him. He's just fought a southpaw in Dempsey McKean. Of course, Itauma's a southpaw himself, so he's had plenty of practice against the fellow lefty in his last camp. Going up against Charles Martin, who is a bit more proven than McKean, who does have experience, who does have some power there, and who did give Jared Anderson a tough time, and also gave Luis Ortiz a tough time, it will be a good measuring stick to see where Moses Itauma is at. Bear in mind, when Charles Martin fought Jared Anderson, that was Anderson's 14th fight. Itauma has had 11 fights so far, so if he were to fight Charles Martin in his next one, it will be his 12th fight as a professional. So yeah, I like it. Itauma versus Charles Martin. It won't do much for him by way of rankings. I don't think Charles Martin is even ranked by any of the major sanctioning bodies currently. If he is, he can't be very high up. But it would do something for Itauma as far as, again, being a measuring stick to see where he's at. And if Charles Martin can take him a few rounds, the experience should help him. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section below. The potential Charles Martin-Moses Itauma fight. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Are you surrounded by mindless bots in human form who adhere to the norm and blindly conform? Who swallow all the mainstream BS and actually ridicule you for questioning things? Do you wish you had more free-thinking individuals in your life to network and converse with? Well, look no further. We're right here. Come and join the Brotherhood of Reason on Patreon. You'll gain access to my weekly topical content where we take deep dives on an endless variety of subjects, as well as my vast back catalogue of podcasts, videos, interviews, movie decodings, and my Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You'll also get to talk and network with myself and hundreds of other people in our members chat. You can enjoy all this via the Patreon app or on desktop and download all my podcasts in high quality MP3. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store, or simply visit patreon.com on a web browser. Then head on over to my page and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. All the links are in the description box below. And just a quick money-saving tip for Apple users. If you purchase your Patreon subscription on the desktop site or on Android, then you'll avoid the ridiculous 30% fee that Apple charges for purchases made on the iOS app. So if you're on iPhone or iPad, save yourself some money by buying your subscription on the actual Patreon website or on Android, because it's a lot cheaper. Once you've made that initial purchase, you can then use the Patreon app on your iPhone or iPad thereafter to access and enjoy your content as normal.